welcome back to NBAA TV Live. We are on the show floor at BACE. We're so excited. We are talking YoPros right now. Let me introduce our guests. We have Sierra Grimes and Brian Koester, both senior managers with NBAA. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks for having us, Carrie.
We're really excited to talk YoPros, and I know that you guys have set some records, right? Sierra,
Yes.
You want to start us off? Ladies first, tell us about the records.
Yes, we are very excited. We've broken over 1,000 YoPros at our show this year, which is phenomenal. And we're looking forward to continuing to grow that number. We think that with the push that we've had with our Young Professionals program and really engaging them over the years has contributed to getting that number up. And it shows that there's a new energy with the things that we're doing at NBAA-BACE, but also a new energy coming with a new diverse audience coming.
That's so awesome. It definitely is the future, without question. Let's talk about some of the specific programs. I know Helpy Hour, right? Am I right?
Yes,
is coming up.
Yes.
Tell us about Helpy Hour and some of the other new things you're doing.
So before we get to Helpy Hour, one of the cool things we're doing this year is actually leading into the Helpy Hour.
Oh, cool.
So we've got an education session sponsored by our Young Professionals Council on emerging technologies and the future of aviation. We're going to have some really smart folks out there talking about current technologies, emerging technologies, artificial intelligence, eVTOL, and how those are going to play out in business operations, not necessarily the actual flight of the aircraft in this case, but how it's going to affect business operations, how they're going to be able to use that to reach new clients and that sort of thing. And so shortly after that education session, we always go straight into our Young Professionals Networking reception. Usually it's a bit of a transition, so this year we were doing something fun to fill the transition time. We've got a comedian, a science comedian, coming out to help us fill that time. So Kasha Patel is going to be joining us. Kasha is a scientist by background. She works for NASA during the day and does comedy at night.
Wow, I love it.
So we're looking forward to having her out. Yeah.
That is fantastic.
It's going to be really fun because we're keeping the whole aerospace theme with everything.
Right.
And so our Helpy Hour is always known to have awesome treats and new fun things. So we're doing astronaut-themed snacks. We'll have the frozen ice cream in a pouch, as well as some of the frozen drinks to get everyone networking and going.
Okay, sadly, I think I've aged out, but I want to come.
No, please join us. And
that sounds cool.
That's the awesome thing about the YoPro reception is that it's cured for the young professionals that are attending, but we have a large amount of board of directors and chair people and executives from other companies because Brian has done a great job of leading our mentorship program through NBAA, and this has become the staple of what we do with mentoring at NBAA-BACE.
That's so fantastic.
And so during the reception this year, we've actually got an opportunity for folks to give back while we're there with a group called 3 Square.
Yes, so 3 Square is the only food bank in the local Las Vegas area. And so their statistics are showing that it's one in every 6 kids in this area will not have food without their school provided meals.
Wow.
And so with the young professionals, the council is very big on philanthropy and giving back. And so one of the things that we want to start to do is that we want to leave a lasting impact, not only with us bringing in our events there and then doing things to build the next generation into STEM and aviation, but we also want to impact the local communities while we're here. So we're partnering with this organization, 3 Square. They'll be out here at the Helpy Hour, and we'll have an assembly line where we'll be packing 300 weekend bags for kids in the local area to eat this weekend. So we're really excited about that.
So excited. There's so much going on. I love it. I love it. All right, let's talk about advocacy, too. We had Krista Lucas on, who's the VP of Government Affairs for NBAA a little while ago. Yeah. She talked about advocacy and some of the issues. How are you guys making an impact, and what do you need from other members in terms of advocacy?
So we're rolling out a new program, Krista told you about it, called Engage. So this is an opportunity for us to reach out to the young professionals who are in business aviation and try to bring them into our community, make sure that they feel empowered to act on behalf of our community. We want them to know that they are a part of business aviation. They may be in marketing or business development. Some of the folks who may not be a pilot or mechanic touching airplanes every day may not feel as though they're necessarily a part of the nucleus of business aviation. We consider them very much to be a part of that nucleus. And we want them to be just as engaged with us as anybody else. And so when issues come up on Capitol Hill, we need them to engage with us, to engage with the people on Capitol Hill, and let them know that these issues matter.
Yeah,
that's true.
One thing that has been the staple for YoPro as well is that the grassroots efforts. So we've done a great job of reaching out and partnering with local and regional groups throughout the year with our local networking events. And as we've seen an engagement of the young professionals through the networking events, we figured we would partner with the government affairs and really take that grassroots to another level. Because as Brian stated, a lot of the young professionals, yes, a lot of them are in the actual operations of the flight departments, but we have a large sector. That's the beauty of business aviation.
Right.
You don't have to necessarily be an aviator by definition, but you can play a role that contributes to the overall operation of aviation. And so we want to make sure that all of the YoPros are engaged with that. And as we continue to push to get the word out for the next generation, our advocacy campaign falls right in line with that.
And you can tell that by the booths that are here, right? They're not all aviators. They fall into all kinds of categories.
Right.
And the theme is the future is here, and really the next future is the leaders.
Exactly.
The emerging leaders,
it's
for
something
sure.
we're really excited about, this opportunity. We know that reaching out and being politically active on issues that are important to young folks is something that's really, really popular. It means a lot to these young people to have their voices heard. And so we want to make sure that they're doing the same. We've seen it recently on climate change with the UN, and Ed continues to tell us that one of the great things about business aviation, the reason that his team has been successful on Capitol Hill, is because our community reaches out over and over. They heard from more than 10,000 representatives of our community during the Fight Privatize ATC initiative.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that this next generation continues to do that as well.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And with the campaign, it's going to be like a 3 to 5 year process, which is great because we have time to start at the beginning. Get them engaged about their jobs, get them connected to NBAA deeper, and then once they fall in love with that and really own that for themselves, then they're able to go and engage deeper in the political action that we need for them.
And speaking of engaging deeper, I know you guys have a first-time event coming up, Emerging Leaders Conference in my hometown, Orlando.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we are really excited. When Brian and I first launched this whole thing, we did not think that we would see a conference within 6 years. But here we are 6 years later, and next February we'll be launching a conference, Emerging Leaders, by YoPros, for YoPros.
It's great.
And we think that it's going to be just the exact thing that young professionals need. It's geared towards those who are either about to go into a managerial position or actually in there and growing out. And we're working on focusing on tangible skills. We want you to come, and at every leadership conference, you go and you get pumped up and you're fired and you're ready to go back to your office. But we want you to get pumped up, fired up, and then go back to your office and be able to bring those tangible skills that you learned through the workshops and the networking and the different classes that'll take place there, and then empower your other peers that are young professionals throughout the year.
That's fantastic. I'm really excited about it. It's the end of February, right? In Orlando. Where can folks find out more information?
So they can go on the NBAA.org website.
Cool.
Once you go under all of our conferences for the 2020 year, you will see the Emerging Leaders Conference. It's probably the 4th event down there, and registration will be open the first week of February.
That's so exciting. Well, Brian, Sierra, thank you so much. The future is bright, without question. We appreciate everything you guys are doing for the profession, so thank you very much. So for Brian and Sierra, I'm Carrie Fairneck. This has been NBAA TV Live. We'll be back with more live interviews coming up in just a few minutes.